guys, Monica here for the Monica Brant Show here at American Fitness Expo here in Houston, Texas. And I'm here with Frontline Alternative, your national, local, national, hormone replacement therapy, right? All over the place. And I'm here with a friend of mine I haven't seen in a long time.
Like a very long time.
Maybe over a decade, actually seen him in person. I'm here with Mateo Aguirre.
Aguirre, yes.
I think I said it too many times. I said it right the first time. Yes.
Aguirre, yes. Perfect. All right, so what are we doing today?
So, Mateo has a multitude of business things he does.
Yes.
He's an amazing guy, full of integrity. He's in incredible shape. I know you can't see him completely right now. He's all covered up. Humble. He's got a civil engineer background.
I'm a nerd. She's just trying to say I'm a nerd.
And he's just a coach.
Yeah.
He helps promote expos and shows. He works with all kinds of different companies. He works at individual people. He works with groups. He's done a lot from his college days that he was telling me about, that some stuff with UT University. And I'm just like, I sat back and I just kind of got worn out with all of the amazing stuff that he's done and is continuing to do. And it's so fun to get to talk to a fellow athlete.
Yes.
And really dive into who they are and what they're, because most of the time athletes aren't just that athlete. I mean, a lot of times they are, but a lot of times they aren't. There's other things that drive them and they're passionate about.
Yes. I'm a very passionate person. You could say I'm a very passionate person.
You are.
Yes.
So out of all the things, what would you say, because I want to talk about some more of what you do, not just that you're getting ready for pro qualifying North Americans in 4 weeks and coaching himself.
Yes.
But
I don't even know where to start, honestly.
What do you think is your favorite activity? Because he has told me he hasn't worked in 7 or 8 years because everything he does, he considers a part of his passion projects, and it's not considered work.
So what I'm living, honestly, I wish this upon everybody, meaning finding your vocation, finding your purpose, and doing things with purpose, being very deliberate with what you're doing. And he's blessed me with a lot of gifts. Surrounded by a very strong family. My bond with my family is very strong, and I think that being my foundation has led me to really do the things that I love to do. I feel like I've gotten really good at a lot of things. I love doing a lot of things, all the things that I'm doing right now. So for me, I don't know that I even have a favorite one, because of all the things that I do, like we were saying and we were talking about earlier, I get to pick and choose the things that I bring into my life. Anything negative, you can stay over there.
Right.
Anything that's development, entrepreneurship, getting better, finding the best version of yourself, I'm right behind you. I'm gonna always be behind you. So just getting the opportunity to help, and this is how I summarize my vocation or my purpose. I'm here to uplift and empower others, and through the different gifts and tools that I've learned to sharpen, I just have gotten an opportunity to do that at a very high level. I guess you could say that. You already know how that feels. I think you know how that feels. Yes, you've been doing this way before I did. But again, reconnecting with you after, I guess, maybe almost 12 years.
Yeah, because I moved from Austin in 2012.
It is such a great feeling to see you still doing your thing.
Yeah.
And when you met me, that's when I was like kind of in the middle of starting my whole thing, because I wasn't planning on going into fitness, doing my first competition in 2012, and now I'm 30 plus shows later, I'm over here still competing. It's been such a neat ride for me, for sure.
So let's talk about that, since that's kind of the newest thing right now on your plate. You've got 4 weeks out,
right?
And you're going for your pro card. How many shows have you done?
National shows?
Right.
So I've come in second place or short of one placement to becoming a pro. This will be my third time going back into North Americans. And personally, I feel like this is the best I've ever looked 4 weeks out. But you can't get too excited.
Yeah, because you don't know
who's going to show up. Right. So the only thing I can do, and obviously the same thing that I tell my clients, as long as you do what you're supposed to do, as long as you look your best, did we beat the last package? Are we doing literally everything that we're supposed to do? It's out of our control once we get there.
Right.
So I know I'm going to show up at my best, and for all we know, there's another guy out there that, I mean, he's doing the same.
Everyone's working hard, right?
So,
At the end of the day, everyone's working hard.
And so, of course, it's one of the largest shows in the world, actually. So coming out of there with the pro card, I believe is I would consider a very prestigious thing to actually experience there. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes.
So now you're coaching yourself.
Yes.
Do you have anyone, you don't have to name names, but do you have anyone that you can send pics to and go, hey, I'm tired of looking at myself? Because sometimes like from week to week, sometimes you can see big changes and sometimes you can't. Yeah. It takes someone else's eyes to be like, right. Wow, like I remember getting ready for shows and I'd be like, things aren't changing, nothing's changing. And then the coach would be like,
what's going on here?
No, or he'd be like, yes, they are. Right. You're just tired of looking at yourself. And so
summary there would be, I had 2 great coaches before I kind of ended up on my own. And unfortunately, I ended up on my own because my coach did pass away. Oh. And at that point, it was, how can I duplicate or find someone who fit? I mean, it was just big shoes to fill.
Right.
For my needs and whatever I need as an athlete. So just have never connected with another person at the level that I did with him. Mm-hmm. But of course, the other side of this is it has made me such a much better coach, trainer, mentor. And of course, training yourself, like you said, sometimes you're looking at your pictures. Well, what do I do? Who do I, can I send them to somebody? And I think I mentioned this before, being involved with the NPC since 2010, behind the scenes, expediting all the stuff, behind the scenes with the shows. I have seen and experienced when you send a picture to 5 different people, you're gonna get 5 different.
Right.
Yeah.
So many cooks in the kitchen.
Right. So when you do have that, and what has worked for me, because if I ask for your input and I don't do what you asked me to do, then at that point you might even get upset. I told you not to do that, or I told you to do that.
Don't ask me again.
And so exactly. So I think what I've learned to do is almost keep it to myself. I wouldn't say that I have a go-to person. I don't think I have that one specific person I go to all the time. I'll run some things here and there, but ultimately, and you probably have experienced this too, when you're good.
Yeah.
When you're doing the work.
Yeah. And it's paying off.
You know the feedback that you have with the things that you're supposed to improve. And if you've been doing the work, it's going to be showing.
Yeah.
And I just put in the work. and I'm going to continue doing that, yeah.
So speaking of the work, you were sharing some cool, we're going to go back in time now.
Yes.
And talk about what you were doing in college.
Yeah.
And some of those programs, because that sounds pretty interesting. And probably a lot of people
college days
find that interesting with the programs you were putting into place.
Yeah, so college for me was very, very memorable experience. Short version of what happened during those years. Being able to start a nonprofit organization to do outreach programs for youth in the community, working with middle schools, elementary schools, high schools, and like literally bringing kids into the campus, doing campus tours. I would round up organizations, and then we split up into groups, and then we'd all end up in one, big conference room, have the motivational speakers and ourselves, talking to the youth. But also, in addition to that, I would do weekend mentor programs. So I would bring in the college kids. We would meet up at certain places of the community to do tutoring. And that was a very powerful experience for me, because I know me growing up, I didn't have those resources. So like I was telling you before, creating these resources that I hadn't experienced growing up, and having the ability and this right here to be able to do it, and being able to be a connector, getting organizations involved, that was really neat. The other big marker I would say from going to college and being in the college was starting the first Latino fraternity there at UT, which is still there.
First Latino fraternity
there. I was one of the founders.
So fast.
Yeah, I was one of the founders there. This is going back to 1996.
Latino. I say it so.
No, but see, you can get away with it though.
Kind of like
you're good.
girl,
You can say it. You can say it.
Latino
You can say it.
fraternity.
That's
Latino
fine.
fraternity.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't mean. I'm just like.
It just runs a little. Yeah, it comes out.
It comes out fast.
So in '96, I was able to be one of the founders of the first Latino fraternity there in UT. It's Sigma Lambda Beta, and it's still there. And that was part of what I wanted to be a part of, to leave almost a legacy, almost something for the future. I mean, some of the kids that are in the fraternity, they weren't even born when we were there or when we started this. Now we have chapters all over the country.
That's amazing.
Some of the programs that I was able to establish there when I was there, they're still there 20 plus years later. And so it's a great feeling to have experienced that, established something that's there. I feel like the same thing is happening in the community, in the fitness industry that I'm in now, establishing and helping people on a small scale and a large scale. And I don't think I'm going to stop doing that anytime soon.
No, I don't think you're going to either. You've got a lot
I got a good lead right here, so yeah. For sure.
That's awesome. Well, it's been really fun to connect with you again and just hear what you got going on.
This was fun.
Where can people find you? Social media, you have a website. What do you got?
I think my go-to
here
right
at the show today.
I think my go-to is gonna be Instagram, which is Mateo_AF. And it's not the AF that you think. It's actually the initials to Auspicious Fitness.
Oh yes.
Before AF was anything, I did the initials, and so I just kept it because it's Mateo AF.
Okay, explain, because I had to ask. Like, I've never used the word auspicious.
Yes.
I've never used that word in my vocabulary that I can ever remember. And I'm 53 now, so
we're youngsters. We're young.
So young, but it's a word. I'm like, can you explain that word to me, or do I need to go look it up on Wikipedia?
No, so let's break it down. So when I had the nonprofit, it was actually called Auspicious, and what it means is to be prosperous or to get off to a good start. And that's kind of what my intention was in the beginning when I started that. The name has been really good to me, has always been good to me, so I went ahead and kept it for Auspicious Fitness. And then for the production company, I went ahead and kept it. It's Auspicious Productions. And so I'm going to be auspicious for the rest of my life. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it.
It was a pleasure, seriously.
Thank you, Mateo.
It was really nice to reconnect with you, and I'm sure whoever's watching this, keep following her. She's got a great story, and hopefully maybe one day I'll interview her, because she's got an amazing story.
All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you're coming down here, well, I don't know, you might be listening to this month from now, but if we saw you here
at the American Fitness Expo.
Yes. All right, thank you guys for tuning in to the Monica Brant Show, brought to you by Frontline Alternatives and STEM Regen. You guys got to check out stemregen.co, and we're gonna go be auspicious.
We're gonna be auspicious the rest of our lives. There we go.
See y'all soon.
That's good.